a beautiful spring morning here in Washington. The birds are singing, and it's I don't know, maybe 9 months since I first bought this car, and today is my last day with it. We are going to drive it to Whidbey Island, which is not far from here. It's going to be about 50 miles on a ferry ride. The car, I replaced the alternator from the disastrous Portland trip, which honestly in hindsight I don't regret at all, and it doesn't even feel much like a failure because, you know, I tried, and I'm delighted it made it as far as it did. Anyway, with the new alternator, it's running like a peach. It runs beautifully, and I feel quite proud actually of how much I've managed to achieve in it. Now it's going to a lovely guy who lives on Whidbey Island. He's an artist, and honestly, I just can't think of a better place for this car because he is just going to pop round those lanes with the roof down through the summer and just make the most of this car's character, which is just perfect. So we're going to deliver it to him, which, you know, I mean, I'm going to take responsibility for making sure it actually gets there. And at some point on the journey, I'll reflect on the experience I've had with the car. All right, let's start this car for the penultimate time. Beautiful. Full tank of gas. The battery should be charging well. We should see that. Yep, that's the needles moving up. And yeah, this is it. This is it, the last journey. Kids are there. The kids decided not to ride with me, which is understandable because it's not the sunniest day. And when the roof's down, the back is pretty windy. Because the first time I drove up this hill, that's where we broke down. So to go from breaking down to confidently powering up in third gear feels really satisfying. Be able to make fourth in a second. Here we go. When I first got the car, fourth felt like an impossible dream, and now we're going up a hill in fourth. As I've said before, the torque of this engine is actually remarkable when you consider how small it is, and when you consider how little power it puts out. It's a really torquey little motor. Now, one thing I won't miss about this car is the ergonomics of it. As a 6'2" person, this part of the roof is my eye line. I mean, when I stop at traffic lights, I can't see the lights. If I'm at the front, I have to bend right forward and kind of peer up through the windscreen to see the lights. And I think that's actually more a fault of the seats and the way the seats are redone than the car. But to drive it, I have to crouch down, and that's kind of uncomfortable. But the seats actually kind of lend themselves to crouch. They kind of force you to crouch because the lumbar support is not great. You kind of, the lower part of your back just kind of folds its way into the back of the seat. It's almost like if you were to bend forward anymore, you're just going to get lost down the back of it. And here we are, approaching the Mukilteo Ferry. Very easy journey. Sun's starting to come out, which is awesome. What a beautiful view of the sound. Oh, there's a ferry leaving. No queue. Absolutely no queue, which is surprising, honestly, for a Sunday morning on a day like today. But I'll take it. We're going to get over the island really quick. And I think we've beaten the kids. I'm almost positive that we've beaten the kids. Oh, they've redone this. Interesting. All right. Well, interesting. Whidbey Island Ferry is very reminiscent for me. In 2012, this was where I got married. We married in Langley on Whidbey Island. At the time, we had a wonderful old 1980s Mercedes 300 TD diesel wagon, which was a trusty old friend. And it was a beautiful summer, and it was a beautiful wedding. And it's always, particularly on Mother's Day today, it's always nice to think about those times and recollect them, particularly also since we're moving away. I mean, this is why I'm selling the car, is we're going to England in 10 days, and we're planning to stay there for at least the rest of the year. So we're giving up the house, giving up everything. We'll keep the van, I'll keep the Shelby that I have, but those will just go into storage. So I've just turned off the main road just to enjoy this car on the lanes, because that's how it should be enjoyed. The smell of freshly cut grass, the joie de vivre, the sea, just all the experiences, all the smells, just taking your time. That's what this car's about. I've been thinking about whether I'm going to miss it. And the honest truth is, I don't think I am. I don't often miss cars, if I'm honest. And I don't feel like we established a strong enough relationship for me to miss this car. I'm really grateful for all that it's taught me, for sure. And if I would ever buy another one, I mean, I'd know exactly what I was looking for, because, you know, having replaced just about everything on this car, I feel like I know it pretty well. Would I buy another one? Yeah, I totally would. There is no other car that I've ever owned that is like this car. There really isn't. There's nothing you can compare to it. So yeah, I would buy another one. I mean, I want a Renault 4. I want a Fiat Panda. I mean, there's a bunch of other cars that I want that are, you know, like little European cars. But yeah, I would consider getting another one. But I'm very grateful for the experience that I've had with this car. It's been very unique, and it's been great just to own an icon and experience, you know, the ups and downs of ownership. Let's talk money. I have lost money on this car, no question. But then, I mean, I'm not going to add up what I spent on it. Definitely not going to add up what I spent on it, because it'll run into thousands, I think. But at the end of the day, I've sold it for a fair price, reflecting the work that still needs doing to it. I mean, the floor really needs to be completely replaced, quite honestly. But it'll get in through the summer. You know, it's the chassis is decent, the car's decent. So yeah, it'll get in through the summer. He's aware of it, and you know, as I say, I think he's got it at a good price. So I'm happy about that. He's happy about that. Everyone wins.